Death Reaper, Klaus Reaper, son of the Grim Reaper. I've never wanted an ordinary life, but fate gave him one far darker than he imagined. On his first day at Darkville High, Klaus struggles with loss after the death of his father, while navigating school bullies, new friendships, and a budding romance with Maya Whitemore. But secrets don't stay buried for long. The truth of Klaus's heritage soon pulls him into a war against the Dagda, Xavier Knight's monstrous alter ego who seeks to end the Reaper bloodline. Klaus learns of the deadly weakness that could kill him a solar eclipse and watches his father finally fall to Dagda's hand, leaving him with the heavy burden of legacy. His life became a war against monsters, aliens, and things that crawl from graves. He learned to lead, to love, to lose. Allies gather around him: loyal Dylan, fiery Helen, conflicted Harry Knight, and mysterious newcomers from across galaxies like Isaac Martin, the Shadow, and Princess A. Yet Klaus also faces betrayals, tangled romances, and battles against zombies, aliens, and creatures rising from the grave. With his father's scythe in hand, Klaus takes his first steps toward his destiny as the so-called Man of Darkness, destined not only to defend Darkville, but to protect worlds beyond. But victory comes at a price. Captured and imprisoned in Russia for months, Klaus is forced to rely on Dylan, Red Bomb Rocket, and his new team, Team Rider, to break him free. Though reunited with his friends, Klaus now carries the scars of war, the weight of his father's death, and the shadow of enemies still at large. His fingers trace the grooves in the floor. Not patterns, but names. The ones he must remember. Father, Maya, Dylan, Helen. His father's face, the light leaving his eyes as Dagda's blow landed, is the memory that plays on a loop behind his own. A legacy of death, passed from one generation to the next with a final, shuddering breath. Man of Darkness. The title is a shackle heavier than the iron on his wrists. Now, as Darkville teeters on the edge of chaos, Klaus must rise from grief and betrayal to face his greatest challenge yet. But so have his enemies. Darkville is waiting for you, and its hero is back. Death Reaper and the Pumpkin's Heir. Volume 1, Chapter 1. The Door to Another World. Darkville, 1955. The air in the dusty antique shop was thick with the scent of aged paper and ozone. Two figures stood in the dim light, their patience a tangible force. Edward Teach, a man whose very presence seemed to suck the warmth from the room, watched the door with hawk-like intensity. He's late. Edward's voice was a low rumble, like distant thunder. From the shadows, Xavier Knight emerged, his borrowed eyes glinting with a cold fire. He will come. The Soul Taker never fails to collect on a debt. As if summoned by the utterance of his name, the space between the bookshelves shimmered. A figure clad in tattered, ethereal robes materialized, holding a small, ornate box that pulsed with a malevolent, violet light. The temperature plummeted. "Hello, Klaus? Edward?" The Soul Taker hissed, his voice the sound of grinding tombstones. "Do you have it?" Edward demanded, his gaze fixed on the box. "The agreed price has been paid in full." The Soul Taker extended the box. "The Soul Destroy." Xavier's hand shot out, snatching the artifact. A predatory smile spread across his lips, lips that were not his own. Perfect. 4 months later, the Milky Way underground prison. Confinement. That was the only word for it. Klaus Reaper rattled the bars of his cell, his spirit screaming within a cage of flesh and bone that belonged to his greatest enemy. "Let me out of here. I need to speak with Dylan Jones and Gretchen English. Now," he yelled, his voice echoing down the sterile, cold corridor. Agent Ed Butterman sighed, barely glancing up from his paperwork. "Give it a rest, Xavier. You're not talking to anyone. This is not a negotiation. My name is Klaus Reaper. Ask me something only I would know. Anything." Butterman approached the cell, his expression one of profound boredom. "Fine. Humor me. What was your favorite toy as a child?" "A stuffed animal. A puppy dressed as Santa Claus," Klaus said without a moment's hesitation, desperation clawing at his throat. "My father won it for me at a summer fair." Xavier could never know that. Butterman's bored expression vanished, replaced by shock. He stared at the face of Xavier Knight, seeing the frantic, honest terror in eyes that should have been filled with arrogance. "Klaus, my God, what have they done to you?" Before Klaus could answer, a terrifying sensation washed over him. The edges of the world began to blur, to fade like a photograph left in the sun. The very light seemed to be draining from the universe. "Agent, what's happening?" Klaus whispered, pressing against the cold bars as a wave of profound wrongness swept through him. Butterman stared at his own hands, watching as they seemed to become less solid. I don't know. A blinding, silent, white light consumed everything. The soul world. In a world of swirling, muted colors, Tanya English hugged her knees. A year. A year of silence, of isolation, of being a ghost among ghosts. I'm so alone, she whispered to the endless gray. Not anymore. The soul taker appeared before her, his form a solid anchor in the shifting haze. I require your assistance, Tanya. With what? The bodies of Klaus and Xavier. Your father's spirit is trapped within Klaus's form. The vessel is corrupted. Tanya's spectral form flickered with a surge of hope. My father. I'll help. Just tell me what to do. A grim smile was her only answer. Kyoto, Japan, 1955. The final bell rang at Sakuragaoka High, releasing a flood of students into the sun-drenched courtyard. At the center of the cheerful chaos was Akemi Yokoyama, the undisputed captain of the cheer squad, her smile as bright as her uniform. She twirled, her pleated skirt flaring. Well, Mary, am I pretty? She asked, her voice a confident melody. Her friend, the quieter Mary Worth, nodded with a gentle smile. Of course you are, Akemi. The prettiest. Akemi's smile turned sharp, a glint of something dark and unspoken in her eyes. Good. Remember that. I won't kill you when I'm reborn into my true power. Mary simply nodded again, used to her friend's strange pronouncements. Oh, okay then. The two girls walked home, one basking in the adoration of the present, the other already dreaming of a terrifying future. The Farm of Silence. Outside Darkville, dawn broke over the hills. The Parker family's farm looked idyllic at first glance, its fields green and its wooden fences warm beneath the rising sun. But within the farmhouse, a boy's life was far from peace. Douglas Parker crouched among his rabbits, whispering gently as he scattered feed. Good morning, my pets. Eat well today. The soft sounds of nibbling were broken by footsteps. Tom Edwards approached, his eyes worried. Douglas, Tom said quietly. Are your parents still? Douglas kept his eyes on the rabbits. His voice was flat, but the weight behind it was unbearable. Yes? Tom's fists clenched. That's wrong. That's not how parents should be. Douglas let out a bitter laugh, though no smile reached his face. I know, right? The rabbits rustled around them, unaware of the storm that brewed inside the boy's heart. The Rider Cave. October 2015. The time vortex spat out two figures. The brown cat shook cosmic dust from her fur, while Karai Manson slammed her fist on the console. Nothing! He wasn't in Egypt, he wasn't in Rome. It's like he's been erased, she snarled. Dylan Jones ran a hand through his hair, his face etched with worry. 6 months! He's been gone for 6 months. Where do we look now? We look to the past, Karai stated, her eyes alight with a new idea. Our allies scattered across time. One of them must have seen something. Gretchen English frowned. A fine idea, but how do we get a message across decades? Dylan's eyes met Karai's, a name passing between them in a single glance. We know someone who can. Harley Argent. Dragon Cafe, 2015. Harley Argent closed her diary, the entry unfinished. The words, I hope he is okay, felt hollow after so many months. Harley! She looked up to see Dylan rushing into the cafe, urgency in every step. Dylan, what's wrong? It's Klaus. He's missing. We think it's bad. We need your help to find him. Harley didn't hesitate. She closed the diary with a definitive snap. Tell me what you need. I'm in. In the past October 1955, Xavier Knight, finally restored to his own body, held the soul destroy. He felt its power, a cold hunger that mirrored his own. I despise the Reaper family, he spat. Ted Reaper stole the woman I loved. He took Kate Hart from me. Edward Teach watched his master. And this artifact will rectify that? This will do more than rectify it, Xavier chuckled. By erasing Ted Reaper from existence, I will unravel the very future he spawns. A world without superheroes, without comic books, without hope. He turned, the soul destroy glowing. Now, it's time to rewrite history. Outside a modest home, Kate Hart fidgeted on the porch. Ted Reaper answered her knock, his smile warm. Kate, is everything all right? Ted, I need to tell you something. A cold voice cut through the evening air. Ted? They turned. Xavier stood there, his expression one of pure triumph. Xavier, what are you talking about, my son? A story for no time at all. Are you ready to die? Xavier, don't! Kate screamed, stepping between them. I have to. Xavier raised the soul destroy. Goodbye, Ted Reaper, forever. A beam of violet energy struck Ted. His body dissolved into motes of ash. Kate fell to her knees, a wail of utter despair tearing from her throat. Xavier lowered the weapon. My work here is done. And as he walked away, the world began to fade. In his cell, Klaus felt the universe tear apart at the seams. The white light was absolute. When it faded, he was on his knees, gasping. He looked at his hands. His hands. The relief was immense, but it was short-lived. A crippling weakness seized him, a coldness that started in his chest. He collapsed, the world going dark. Asteroid ship dreamscape. Klaus found himself standing on the cold metallic deck of an asteroid ship. Hello, Klaus, a voice echoed. Red Rocket floated towards him. It's been a long time. Rocket? Where are we? Before he could answer, Karai Manson ran towards him. Klaus, you're all right. Karai? A massive shadow, the dark shadow loomed. A pocket between what was and what is. Isaac Martin approached, his expression grim. We're searching for a weapon, a space fan that can purge the zombie plague. Then we can all go back. As Isaac walked away, Karai turned to Klaus. Klaus, we need to talk. About our future. Our future? But Karai turned and walked away, whispering to herself. I'm so stupid to say that. Suddenly, her vortex opened. A woman with ancient eyes stepped out. Medea? Karai breathed. What troubles you, child? I told him about our future. Before another word could be spoken, the dream shattered. The spaceship reality. Karai woke with a start. A frantic knocking came at her door. Karai! We found him! We found Klaus's body on a planet called Lost Things. It was Ritui. Hope surged, then died. Klaus lay on a med bay cot, pale and still. Why won't he wake up? She demanded. His body is here, but his soul is absent, Ritui explained softly. And the body itself is critically weak. It must heal before a soul can be tethered to it again. How long? Karai's voice was tight. Ritui hesitated. 16 weeks. At best. 16 weeks. The number hit her like a physical blow. She drove her fist into the bulkhead. As she stormed back to her room, a desperate idea formed. Her vortex could project her consciousness. She recalibrated the emitters. Hold on, Klaus. I'm coming. She stepped through into a void of speed and noise. A being of pure velocity zipped around her. Who are you? Karai Manson. I'm looking for Klaus Reaper. He's hurt. Klaus is waiting for you, the speed demon said, pointing. In the rider cave, Karai turned. A door stood in the emptiness. She pushed it open. She gasped. It was the rider cave. And there he was, Klaus, in his gear, putting FDL on the streets. Gretchen, where's Karai? I don't know, Kay. Gretchen's voice replied. I'm right here, Karai said, stepping forward. Harley Argent was beside her. Klaus turned. Took you long enough. Suit up. Percy, Gretchen, Karai, we're moving. Without thinking, Karai complied. Her future normal armor materialized around her. I'm ready, partner. Klaus gave a sharp nod, his Death Rider helmet forming. Then let's go. Together, they charged out into a simulated night, heroes once more in the sanctuary of a dying man's mind. Hell! Xavier Knight stood before a throne of bone and despair. Satan, the deed is done. Xavier, the devil purred. You have been most efficient. Klaus is back in his own body, Xavier reported. But the damage is irreversible. He's dying. He has 16 weeks left to live. Satan's laughter shook the foundations of the underworld. Excellent. The Soul World. The Soul Taker delivered the news to Tanya English. Klaus is whole again, but death claims him. I don't want to be dead anymore, Tanya cried. How? How do I come back? There is only one being with the power to return a soul to its body against the natural order. The Soul Taker said, his voice grave. The King of Hell himself. Tanya's hope turned to ash. The only one who could give her life back was the very architect of despair. 16 weeks. On the asteroid ship, Klaus's body lay still, his breath shallow. Karai sat beside him, her hand resting lightly against his. 16 weeks, she whispered. 16 weeks until you heal. Her eyes burned with determination. No matter what Xavier, Satan, or the Soul Taker do, I'll bring you back, Klaus. That's a promise. Far away, in the Soul World, Tanya English looked to the horizon. The Soul Taker stood at her side, his expression unreadable, and in the deepest pit of hell, Satan leaned back on his throne, smiling. The game was only beginning.
It's Hanako here again. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you liked the video, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. And feel free to share this video with anyone who might enjoy it too. Thanks again, and I'll catch you in the next video.